Do you know what happens if you die without a will? So, in most states, if you pass away without a will, your assets will be distributed through a process that is called intestate succession. So, I'm going to translate the Florida statute on intestate succession for you. Ready? First, are you married? So, if you're married and you do not have any descendants, your spouse will take 100% of your estate. If you and your spouse have children and your spouse doesn't have any other children from another relationship, then your spouse will again take 100%. If you have children, but not with your spouse will take 50%. We'll talk about the other 50% in a second. Now, if you and your spouse have children together, but your spouse also has children from another relationship, again, your spouse will get 50%. So what happens to the other 50%? And what happens if you are not married? This is where it gets fun. All right, so first step is easy. It goes to your descendants. But if you don't have descendants, then it goes to your mother and father equally, or the survivor of the two, if one of them has already passed on. If you don't have surviving parents, then it goes to your siblings and their descendants. Now, if you don't have siblings or descendants, then it's going to split this way. 50% along your maternal kin and 50% along your paternal kin. And this is the order you're going to go down. First with your grandparents equally, or the survivor of them. So again, if grandma is no longer here, then grandpa would get 50%. Now, no grandparents are alive, then it goes to the aunts, your uncles, and their descendants. And that the descendants would be if, let's say, Aunt May has passed away, then her children would take her share, what she would have received, right? Now, if you have neither maternal kin or paternal kin, then the estate is going to pass down either line. So let's say there's no one alive on your father's side, then everything goes on your mom's side in that same order: grandparents, siblings, aunties, uncles, that sort of thing, right? But what happens if you don't have anyone on either side and you don't have a will, right? So you didn't pick where it's going. Ready? It goes to the state of Florida. Yeah, it goes to the state of Florida. So it would actually be sold, everything would be sold, and it would go to the chief financial officer of the state of Florida and would be paid into the state school fund. Now, it will sit there for a bit. So if, long lost cousin Jerry finds out, oh, that was my cousin, they can actually petition. They have 10 years to petition for that money. But first of all, that's all really confusing going through the whole thing. It's a lot. I'm going to create a diagram about it because it's, to really help people follow how it goes. But yeah, it's easier if you just have a will. Just create a will, and then your assets go to who you want them to go to. And also, you notice that whole statute and the distributions under that statute only covered family members. So if you have friends or if you have a significant other, but you are not legally married to them, so you just been living with Joe for 10 years and then you pass away, Joe actually gets nothing. I don't know if you noticed that, but Joe didn't get anything and Joe won't be getting anything because you didn't leave a will. So, genesislawpa.com is my law firm's website. I can be found across all social media at Lil Bit of Realty, LILBITOFREALTY. Take a look at my Facebook page. It's Genesis Law PA. And let's get your estate plan in order because we don't want the state of Florida to get all of your assets.